what does it really mean to be, truly well-informed about something as deep as self-mastery or inner peace?
Yeah, it's often more than just knowing facts, isn't it? It's about understanding the foundations.
Exactly, going deeper than the surface. And often that means digging into the principles that really shape how we see things.
It's about getting to the root, I think. Understanding the mechanics, not just, well, the outcome.
And that's pretty much our mission today. We're taking a deep dive into this really ancient and incredibly detailed text. It's called the Mahācattārīsakasuttaṃ.
Or the Great 40.
Right, the Great 40. And this isn't just, some old document. It's a profound teaching. It unpacks the very nature of what it calls noble right concentration.
It really is a remarkable text. So our goal here is to explore how this sutta defines noble right concentration. And it talks about these unique prerequisites and supports.
Prerequisites and supports. Okay.
And we want to unpack how these, well, seemingly simple ethical and mental practices are actually given this surprising sort of dual depth.
Dual depth.
And how they all build on each other, offering you, the listener, a kind of blueprint for deeper understanding and inner balance.
Okay, so to really get this, we need to start right at the core, right?
Yeah.
At noble right concentration itself.
Exactly. The text describes it as having these two key things. Prerequisites, the pala, isapanisi, and supports, sapapakaro.
Got it. Prerequisites and supports.
And what's really fascinating is how the sutta identifies 7 specific factors as these supports.
The 7, okay, what are they?
They are right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, and right mindfulness. The core elements of the path, really.
Ah, okay. So the big insight here then is that this kind of deep concentration isn't something you just achieve on its own, like in a vacuum.
Precisely. It's not like you just sit down, focus hard, and poof, there it is.
Right. The text actually says it's guarded and perfected by how these other 7 factors work together harmoniously.
Guarded and perfected. It means true inner peace isn't like a single skill you just master in isolation.
It's more like a whole orchestra where everything needs to be in tune.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, a symphony of interconnected virtues. If you neglect one part,
the whole thing sounds off. It really challenges that modern idea of, finding a quick fix for your mental state.
It does. It emphasizes that you need a holistic approach. It's all connected.
Okay, so if everything's connected, where do you even start? Does the sutta give a starting point?
It does, actually. It singles out right view, sammādiṭṭhi, saying it's foremost among all the factors.
Foremost. Babangama. That sounds important.
It is. It's like the foundational understanding that kind of sets everything else moving in the right direction.
Okay, so foremost. That's a strong word. What exactly is this right view? And maybe also, what's its opposite, wrong view?
Good question. The sutta is very clear about wrong view, Mahācattārīsakasuttaṃ. It defines it as denying fundamental realities.
Denying realities, like...
Well, it lists them out. It's the belief that there are no real results from gifts or offerings, no consequences for good or bad actions, no this world or next world.
Wow.
Yeah, it goes on. No mother, no father, no spontaneously arising beings, and crucially, no truly enlightened monks or Brahmins who've realized these things and can teach them.
That's comprehensive. A pretty stark definition of denial, really.
It is. It's a rejection of basic ethical and, you could say, existential principles.
So if that's wrong view, what about right view? Is it just believing the opposite of all that?
Well, yes and no. This is where the sutta gets really interesting and offers this profound distinction. It talks about 2 kinds of right view.
2 kinds, okay.
The first is what it calls mundane right view. Sasava punyahagyu upativpapak is the Pali description.
Mundane right view.
Yeah, this is a basic sort of merit-producing understanding. It is essentially believing in the existence of everything. That wrong view denies that gifts, actions, worlds, parents, teachers, they do exist and have significance.
So it's like a foundation for ethical living, a necessary starting point.
Exactly. A baseline understanding crucial for orienting yourself ethically. But then there's the second kind.
Which goes deeper, I'm guessing.
Much deeper. This is noble right view, Ariya Anasava Lukuta Magaga. This is described as transformative, supramundane wisdom.
Noble. Supramundane. How does it describe that?
It calls it wisdom, the faculty of wisdom, the fruit of wisdom, the investigation of state's enlightenment factor, right view as a path factor. This is for someone who has a noble, undefiled mind and is actively developing the path.
Okay, that's a lot packed in there. Investigation of states, What does that imply?
It implies a really keen, discerning awareness, an analytical insight into how things actually work, how phenomena arise and cease. It's not just intellectual belief anymore.
Ah, so it's wisdom born from actually seeing reality clearly, from direct experience.
Precisely. It's like moving beyond just, knowing the map to actually walking the terrain yourself. That kind of undeniable clarity that changes your whole perspective.
That makes a lot of sense. So it's not just what you believe, but how that belief becomes lived wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sutta shows right view isn't just passive right, it's connected to other practices.
Absolutely. It makes it clear that right effort, actively striving to abandon wrong view and develop right view, and right mindfulness, mindfully letting go of wrong view and mindfully abiding in right view, are constantly working with right view.
So they run with and revolve around it, as the text says.
Yes, exactly. They form this dynamic support system. It shows you need active effort and awareness to shape and refine your understanding. It's like a continuous feedback loop.
Okay, right view sets the compass. So how does the Sutta then guide our actual steps? You mentioned this dual nature applies elsewhere too.
It does. It meticulously unpacks this mundane noble distinction for our intentions, our speech, our actions, even our livelihood.
Let's walk through that. So after right view comes.
Right intention.
Yes, right intention, sammāsaṅkappo. And the pattern is consistent, always building on right view. First, it defines wrong intention.
Which would be intentions driven by sensual desire, ill will, and harmfulness. Pretty clear negative drivers.
Yeah, those sound familiar, the kind of thoughts that definitely lead us off track.
Right. So mundane right intention is basically the opposite. Intentions focused on renunciation, non-ill will, and non-harmfulness, actively turning away from the negative.
Okay, the wholesome counterparts and the noble right intention.
That goes deeper again. It's described as the active thinking, pondering, and mental focus of someone on the noble path. It's the quality of thought itself becoming aligned.
So it's not just avoiding bad thought, but actively cultivating good ones. And the very process of thinking becomes right.
Exactly. And again, right effort and right mindfulness are right there, supporting and refining right intention, always guided by that foundational right view.
Okay, the pattern holds. What about right speech, sammāvācā?
Same structure. Wrong speech is identified as lying, divisive speech, harsh speech, and idle chatter, the four main types of harmful talk.
Things we're often warned against. So mundane right speech is just not doing those.
Pretty much. Abstaining from those four. Simple, but crucial.
And the noble level for speech, what does that look like?
Noble right speech signifies a more complete purification. It's described as complete abstinence, refraining, desisting from these four kinds of verbal misconduct for someone actively on the path. It's like the quality of non-harmfulness is deeply ingrained.
An internal state that naturally manifests as purified speech.
You could say that. Again, right effort and right mindfulness are constantly interwoven, supporting this purification of speech.
Okay, next is right action. Sammākammanto. What's the wrong version here?
Wrong action is defined pretty clearly. Killing, taking what is not given, stealing, and sexual misconduct. The three core physical misdeeds.
Basic ethical boundaries. So mundane right action is abstaining from these.
Correct. Just consciously avoiding those harmful actions.
And noble right action, following the pattern.
It's that deeper internalized quality, complete abstinence, refraining, desisting from these bodily misdeeds for one on the path. It's a profound commitment rooted in understanding.
A complete purification of how one acts physically.
And, you guessed it, right effort and right mindfulness are working alongside right action, all viewed through the lens of right view.
It's incredibly systematic. Finally, let's talk about right livelihood. Sammajivo, this one feels really relevant day to day.
It absolutely is. The Sutta defines wrong livelihood in ways that are quite insightful. It includes things like scheming, flattering, hinting or suggesting for gain, belittling others, and pursuing gain with game, basically, exploitation.
Wow, some of those sound very modern. Scheming, flattering, pursuing gain with game. It speaks to dishonesty in how we earn a living, doesn't it?
It really does. Methods that undermine trust and integrity. It's striking how relevant those ancient descriptions still feel.
Definitely. So mundane right livelihood is abandoning those shady practices and just earning a living honestly.
Correct. Abandoning wrong livelihood and engaging in right livelihood.
And noble right livelihood.
It's the complete abstinence, refraining, and desisting from any form of wrong livelihood for someone truly on the path. A deep commitment to ethical earning. Naturally, right effort and right mindfulness are there, continuously supporting and refining one's livelihood with right view, providing the overall direction.
Okay, so we've seen this meticulous pattern. Wrong, mundane right, noble right, for view, intention, speech, action, livelihood. All supported by effort and mindfulness.
Yes, it's incredibly detailed.
And then the sutta shows how this whole system actually unfolds, right? This is where it all kind of comes together in a sequence.
Indeed. This is a really profound part. It explains how right view naturally gives rise to right intention,
Okay.
which then leads sequentially to right speech, then right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness. And it all culminates in right concentration.
Wow, like a cascade. A step-by-step pathway for inner development laid right out.
Exactly. It's a precise blueprint.
That's incredible. And I remember reading it. It doesn't actually stop at concentration, does it?
No, you're right. The path described here extends even further. Beyond concentration, it leads to right knowledge, sammāvācā, and then right deliverance, sammāsamādhi.
Knowledge and deliverance. So insight and liberation.
Essentially, yes, deep understanding and ultimate freedom. The sutta then uses this to describe stages of development.
Stages.
It says an aspirant, a seiko, someone still training, possesses the first 8 factors, the classic Eightfold Path.
Okay, the aspirant has the 8.
But a liberated one, an arahant, someone who has reached the goal, possesses all 10 factors. They've added right knowledge and right deliverance to the 8.
So it maps out the journey from someone starting out to someone who's, well, fully realized. That's quite something.
It is. And for each step on this journey, for every single one of these factors, the text states that its wrong counterpart is eradicated.
Eradicated, gone completely.
Yes, and its wholesome aspects, the right, mundane, and noble versions, are brought to perfection, avanaparpuri.
Perfection. So it's not just avoiding the bad stuff. It's about fully developing and perfecting the good stuff.
Exactly. This applies right across the board to all 10 factors, including knowledge and deliverance. It describes a complete, holistic transformation. Every aspect of your being gets purified and aligned.
It sounds incredibly comprehensive. And is this why it gets the name the Great 40?
Yes, that's the reason given. The sutta is called the Great 40, Mahācattārīsakasuttaṃ, because it details 20 wholesome factors, the mundane and noble right versions across the 10 categories, kind of, and 20 unwholesome factors, the wrong versions.
Ah, okay. 10 pairs of wholesome, 10 pairs of unwholesome. Makes sense. 40 aspects in total.
Precisely. It's a neat way to summarize the scope of the teaching.
And this teaching, this whole system, the text itself makes a pretty strong claim about it, doesn't it? Something about it being unchallengeable.
It does. It's described as unassailable or irreversible apayavātyo. The sutta explicitly states that no one, no monastic, no Brahmin, no god, not even Mara or Brahma, can successfully refute it.
That's a very bold claim. Unassailable by anyone or anything.
It is. And what's really striking, perhaps even surprising, is the declaration it makes about the consequences if someone were to criticize this discourse.
Consequences. Oh, tell me more.
Well, the sutta says any monastic or Brahmin who finds fault with or criticizes this teaching faces 10 grounds for blame in this very life.
10 grounds for blame. Just for criticizing it.
Yes, and it gives examples. If someone criticizes right view, the text says they are, in effect, praising and honoring those who hold wrong view.
Wow. So by attacking the right, you automatically end up endorsing the wrong.
That's the implication. And this logic applies to criticizing any of the 10 factors you'd be seen as implicitly supporting their unwholesome opposites. It's quite a stern warning.
That's a serious warning indeed. Almost like saying the logic is self-evident.
And building on that, what's perhaps even more compelling is the claim that even people holding, say, nihilistic views or non-action views, people who might fundamentally disagree with the idea of karma or the path itself, even they wouldn't criticize this specific teaching.
Really? Why not?
According to the sutta, it's due to the fear of blame. It suggests the teaching is structured with such logical integrity that even opponents would hesitate to attack it directly because doing so would open them up to valid criticism based on the sutta's own framework.
That's a powerful endorsement from within the text itself, isn't it? Like saying, our logic is so sound, even our detractors are wary of challenging it directly.
It certainly reads that way, a strong statement of confidence in the teaching's coherence.
So we've explored how the Great 40 lays out this incredibly detailed, interconnected path. It shows that real, genuine concentration isn't just a technique, but the result of consistent ethical conduct, pure intentions, the right kind of effort, sharp mindfulness.
All fundamentally rooted in a profound understanding of reality, that right view.
Right. It really paints a picture of a complete holistic transformation,
To
doesn't it?
us. Every aspect of one's being, from the deepest beliefs right through to outward actions, all getting aligned and perfected. It's presented as a complete system for achieving mental and, well, spiritual clarity.
And one of the most powerful ideas in this text, I think, is that concept of two kinds for each factor.
Yeah.
That mundane, sort of foundational level, and then the noble, truly transformative level.
The sasava and the anasava.
Exactly. So here's something for you, the listener, to reflect on. How might recognizing these two levels, the everyday ethical choices versus the deeper transformative potential in your own thoughts, words, and actions, shift your perspective on your daily life?
That's a great point to ponder.
Yeah, think about it. What seemingly small wrong action or thought, maybe something you dismiss. When you view it through this lens, this interconnected system described in the Great 40, could it actually have surprising implications for your own mental clarity, your focus, or maybe your overall sense of well-being?
Right.
Something to definitely mull over.